Hi all, today I would like to cover the topic on PostgreSQL backup and recovery. In my previous session, I have covered demos on PG Bouncer. If you would like to watch, you can find the link below to this video. We have two types of backup mechanisms available in PostgreSQL DB. One is logical backup, the second one is physical backup. In logical backup, we will use pg_dump or pg_dump all. The difference between pg_dump and pg_dump all is using pg_dump you can take single database backup. If you want to take all the databases backup together, then you should use pg_dump all. Here I have listed few differences between logical and physical backup. Logical backup is a consistent one and it will not allow any DDL operations during backup. Point in time recovery is not possible. Selective restoration options are possible. For example, you can restore a specific table or a specific role from the backup. Incremental backup is not possible. Whereas in physical backup, the backup is inconsistent one. It will allow DDL operations during backup. Point in time recovery is possible. Selective restoration options are not possible. Incremental backup is possible. In my current session, I am showing demos on logical backup and I will cover physical backup scenarios in my next session. Let me explain why and when we will take logical backup. For example, when an application team requests to refresh few tables from production to pre-prod, then we will use logical backup. The other scenario is normally applications will have different configuration tables for different environments. For example, development will have different configuration tables, pre-production will have different set of configuration tables, and production will have different set of configuration tables. That means the structure of the table may be same, but the data present in the configuration table will vary. Okay, so when application requests to refresh the data from prod to pre-prod, okay, before refreshing the data from prod to pre-prod, first DBA has to take the backup of configuration file tables from pre-prod. Then he will refresh the database from prod to pre-prod. Upon completion of that, DBA will restore the configuration files which he has taken before into the pre-prod system. Below are the scenarios I am going to cover in my demo. The first demo is refreshing data from sample DB to sample DB1. And the second scenario is quite interesting, as in the document they mentioned that whatever the dump it is creating, right, they are saying it is a consistent one. So the question here is, if I started my backup at somewhere around 2 AM in the morning and ending the backup at 4 AM in the morning, so what records the dump is capturing? Is it 2 AM snapshot or 4 AM snapshot, or it is capturing whatever the transactions are happening between 2 and 4? Let us see. And the other demo, like backup plus DDL operations, in the document they mentioned that it will not allow any DDL operations, right? So what will happen if I trigger DDL operation? Let me start my first scenario. I have opened 4 windows here, all are related to my PostgreSQL DB server. In my first window, I am going to create a couple of databases. Let me show what are the databases right now. We have template 0, template 1, Postgres. These are all the default databases. So for my let me create one database. Let me create one more. In Postgres, each object will have its own object ID. Okay, let me see the object ID for the database which I created. Okay, sample DB and its void is this one, sample DB1, and this the void for sample DB1. Okay, let me show something here. This is the default location where the data files present. See, you can see some directories over here, right? And you can correlate with your databases. One is template 1, okay, 13441, 13442, and 73752, 73753. You can see this. Okay, so let me go to my sample DB location. So these are all the data files. When you are creating a database, some data files by default it will create. Now let me go to my sample DB and create the demo table, and I will insert some records. Okay, let me insert some records where I would like to show the refresh this particular table from sample DB to sample DB1. Okay, so let me check what is the ID of my table. Okay, I will show that one here. Oh, sorry, I have not switched sample DB properly here. Okay, let me go to sample DB. Now I connected. Okay, let me create table here. I have inserted 1000 records. Okay, the object ID is 73757. See, it created. Okay, now in my second window, let me take the backup of sample DB. Here F is for defining the output file type. So I'm writing to a plain text file. That is the reason why I'm giving P. There are some other options, like you can write it to tar file or your customized name or to a directory. Okay, preferably most of the people will use P or T. Okay, backup completed. So let me insert or sorry refresh the data to sample DB1. Okay, insert completed. Let me connect to my sample DB1. Okay, let me check whether this particular, if it gets created. Yes, you can go on check in data file location. See, so I refresh the data from sample DB to sample DB1. With this I have completed my first scenario. Let me go to my second scenario, where I will trigger backup and DML operations in parallel, and let us see what will happen. Let me insert more number of records into my demo table so that the backup will take more time. Okay, so I'm going to add at least some okay, let me see where I am. Okay, this is the object ID of my sample DB. So I'm into that location. Let me see, this is my object ID of the table. Okay, it grown till 265 MB. Okay, that's fine. So now what I'm going to do, let me increase, sorry, let me prepare the script here. I'm going to insert 10,000 records. Okay, so now this is the sequence. In window 2 I'm triggering backup. In Windows 1 I'm triggering, oh, sorry, Okay, okay. Backup got finished, but let me re-trigger again. Inserted. So the job got completed, right? Before starting my job, this is the lost record. Okay, so in my output file, whether we will have this number or this number, let us see. See this number. That means PostgreSQL will take snap the moment you trigger the backup. Okay, so whatever the records present at that particular point of time, that only will get backed up. Now let us move to the other demo where backup plus DML operations. Okay, I will try to run both in parallel and let us see. Let me prepare my statements over here. Alter table, add column, I'll keep this one. Now I will go here. Okay, maybe the backup time is taking less time here, but you can observe the difference here. I'm triggering the backup now. See, table alteration is not happening immediately. It's almost in hung state. You can see the difference, means the backup is about to complete. Yeah, right? The moment the backup completed, the DDL operation completed successfully. So what I'm trying to say here is, please avoid to run DDL operations when you are performing backup, especially using pgdump or pgdump_all. Otherwise what will happen? The session will go to hung state. Now let me show the demo. Like I will trigger backup, then DDL operation, then DML operation, and we'll see what will happen. Okay. In window 2 I'm going to trigger my backup, and in window 4 let me connect to my sample DB. I'm going to alter the table, like I'm going to drop a column which I added. Okay, and this is going to be my DML operation, and this is the size of my table right now. Started. I triggered this. You can see here it is not changing. Okay, it's completed, and this also completed. Okay, after completion of DDL operation, my DML operation went fine. You can see the size, right? It increased. So what I'm trying to say again, when you are performing any backups using pg_dump or pg_dump_all, try to avoid performing DDL operations. Otherwise it will block your DDL operation as well as DML operation. So that is the reason why people will take the backups after business hours or during maintenance window. With this I am completing my session, and the next upcoming session what I'm going to cover is physical backup using Barman. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Click the bell icon to get my further notifications. Do comment and let me know your queries.